Hello there, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. I'm Dazzling Rita. Today I want to do a part two to a video I put out a few years ago. And the video is about having multiple mothers or fathers for your children, aka baby mamas, baby daddies. And in that video I talked about how I have 4 children by 3 different men. And I think some of you thought that I was promoting that. Definitely not promoting that. The message I was trying to explain in that video is that if you are only in a marriage or relationship because of the children, if it is abusive, if it is toxic, or if you're just not happy and the only reason you're staying is for your children, that it is okay to leave, especially if you're going through any type of abusive situation, which was the case in my situation. I had my first daughter when I was 19, and with my high school sweetheart, had been sexually abused as a child. So, I was not in a good place and I didn't have a lot of guidance. I ended up being a teen mom at 19. It didn't work out. A few years later, in my 20s, I met someone else and we got married, had 2 more children, back to back. But within less than 4 years, that marriage was not healthy. It was very, emotionally, and it was an abusive, very toxic situation. And at the time, my eldest daughter was 15 years old and very impressionable. And I was extremely unhappy. It was extremely unhealthy. And I made the decision to take my children out of that situation. At the time, my baby was not even 1. I had a son that was 2. And then I had my first child who was 15. And 6 months later, I met the man that I'm with now. We've been together for almost 13 years. And then we subsequently had a 4th child, my 4th child, his first child, 7 years ago. But we've been together for 13 years, and leaving that situation was, that prior marriage was the best thing that I ever did, emotionally and mentally, for myself and for my children. So that was the message I was trying to convey in that video, is that don't just stay in a marriage or situation just for the kids. If it's unhealthy and you're unhappy, or if you're just ashamed, like you don't want to be a single mom, or you don't want to have multiple children with different people. Again, I'm not saying that's the way. Ideally, I wish that all 4 of my children were with my current husband, but that isn't the way my cards were dealt, and I've made the best of my situation. The challenging part is having a blended family is very challenging. It is very hard to try to get everyone together for, events or holidays. It is hard to have, all my family together, my 4 children. And it's difficult co-parenting with that ex-parent, my ex-husband, their parent. It is challenging having to deal with multiple parents. My first daughter, her dad's not really in her life, but my 2 middle children, their dad is involved in their life, but it's still toxic between he and I. We still can't communicate, and it is still a struggle. But like I said, I made the best out of this situation. If I could do it again, I definitely, would still have left and still have moved on, because that was the best thing for me. And my eldest daughter now, who's 29 and who was 15 at the time of that divorce, she tells me that she's grateful that I left, because she saw what was going on. And had I stayed, I would have been conveying to her that it's okay to stay in an abusive marriage. It's okay to deal with some of the things that I was dealing with. So no, and it's not okay for me personally, to each his own. We all have free will, and we all have the ability to make the choices that we feel are best for us. But that is what I'm trying to say is, yes, make good decisions when you're planning on getting married. I would truly suggest doing any healing work. If you have any childhood trauma or deep-rooted issues, I definitely recommend working on yourself before getting married or before getting into a serious relationship or having children. Because had I done the work in my younger days, I would not have attracted a person such as my ex-husband. But that is what I attracted because of my mental state and because of my trauma. I attracted someone who was broken and traumatized and abusive. So again, it's not something that I condone. Don't go out there having a bunch of children with a bunch of people. But at the same time, don't let that be your only reason for staying in a relationship. So I just wanted to do an update to that old video. And now I am a certified master life coach, certified master mindset life coach, and I help people make positive and profound changes in their lives. So if you feel like you can benefit from the help of a coach, based on my experiences and the things I've overcome, I am happy to guide you. So I will leave my information below. And I'm hoping and wishing for all of you out there who are struggling right now in a relationship or situation that's unhealthy, unhappy, toxic, it is okay to move on. And it doesn't matter what other people say. What you say matters. The opinions of other people have no bearing on your life unless you let it. So that's my word for the day. Bye for now. Mwah.